So it's no good in coming to me and saying, Joe, this is what I earn, and I'll go, oh, that's great, yeah, the bank will give you this much money. And because the bank will take approximately $1,100 per month in living expenses, for a single person, I should say. So if you're a single person, that's what they assume is your living expenses.
Was that $1,100?
Now it does vary from a month. So when you go into do your own,
baseline, isn't it?
it's base. It's well, that's why it's really important. And the easiest thing to do is to start with looking at your own expenses that you've got that are pretty much what we call fixed. So it may be your phone bill, your rent could be fixed. I've got a few things. You may know your medical insurance, your health insurance, those sort of things, your rates. Put them all down first because that will give you a really good indication. My next strategy is to pay everything by the month. If you can pay by the month, especially when you are in business, it just for your personal stuff, you know what you need every month to survive on. Alright, so start changing your electricity, your gas, all of those things. If you can do them by the month, it is so much better for cash flow. And it gives you the control. Even if you go onto some payment plans, if they can't do pay by the month with your utilities, go onto payment plans so that you kind of will estimate that this was what it is. So it might be 10 or 20 bucks out each month. Again, remember I'm talking about personal first. Credit cards are one of your highest interest rates. So review what interest rate you're on and try and go onto a low fee credit card. And then once you do that, so if you've accumulated some credit card debt, once you go on that low fee, then cut that card up. All right, if they're really bad debts, and then put a payment plan in as to how, if it's an 18-month at 2%, how much you need to put away on that per month. All right, it's really important. Review your phone and internet plans.
Oh, that hurts.
It works out. It takes
it's painful.
Well, let me help you. I've actually got one of my clients. She's a telecommunications broker. She has been doing all my stuff for the last 10 years. I'll give you her name is Chris.
Oh, beautiful.
It's just
Christina.
Yeah, it's smart.
How clever is that?
And her website is Australian Communication Broker. No, it's not. It's ACS. Here, actually, I have done this for you, so you can take these. These were some websites that I thought would be useful for you.
You're a gem.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, and the first one on there.
They will fight for you too. I rang up mine and said, look, I've had enough, I'm going to cancel, rah. And he said, what can I offer you? And I just threw out a stupid number. He's like, yeah, sure.
That's what happened with my mobile phone.
That document I just gave you just jolted my memory. Is anyone in partnership? No? Okay, that's fine. Because if you are thinking of going in partnership before you start anything, I'm not going to say don't because everything's a learning curve. But get a partnership agreement. And that was the first one I was going to talk to you about in there. So Australian Communication Solutions is Christina. She's very good. I've been a client of hers for the last 10 years. So I've already said to you about reviewing your insurance policies. Nice. We actually have a alliance. Funny enough, it's with Alliance. They do pay by the month with no loading. So if you want to get a quote, and if you're buying a property, they give 3 months free cover. So again, do your house and contents, landlord's insurance.
Really good, actually.
They are very, very good.
My husband works there.
Oh, there you go.
That's who my business one is through, and they're really good.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Full now.
I've already talked to you about the Utilities Council officers and pay by the month. Because once you start doing this, that cash flow budget that I've given you there is really simple to do then because you know that this is what it's going to be every month.
So what about your rates and stuff?
You can ask for rates to be paid. Some councils do monthly, some don't. All right, so if you can't and it's got to be quarterly, I think you, Moonee Valley?
No,
you the other?
Maribyrnong. Yeah.
So just divide it by 3 and put it aside. And do complete this. I have clients who come and see me on a regular basis who actually give me their spreadsheet just to keep them on track. So do complete this. I can't stress to you enough because what this does, if you have a look at that, the document I just gave you, the way it works, sorry, can I just take that for a moment? If you put all your expenses in first, and if you know, for us who are self-employed, sometimes, particularly when you're first starting, you don't have a regular wage coming in, but this will then determine how much you need. Unless you have a partner, you can put your partner's income in there as well, but it then will determine how much you personally need to take from this business before you even start your business. You know, how much income do I really need first? So that'll leave you a space here of total expenses and what your shortfall is per month. And then you can go, all right, well, this business needs to give me a minimum of this much before I should even start. Because if I can't live, maybe I need to go and work full time somewhere else until I'm
Just
ready
it
to
on
do
the
that.
side.
Because that's the reality at the end of the day. I'm not trying to drown your dreams, but you need to make sure that you can survive. So take your time and do that. So that's what it really looks like.
Negative.
And when you do this budget planner, just so you know, I've put in some details in here, but not everybody needs garden supplies or home security. You can change those to whatever. It's an open document, so just change it to whatever. But, you know, it could be that you've got, you know,
I've got boys, hair product.
Food for boys,
Food.
lots and lots of
Yeah.
food.
yeah. Prescriptions are
Cafes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go twice.
Coffee.
Absolute. Mine's coffee.
All right, so that's on your personal stuff. So once you know how much you need to survive on personally, then we can take that figure and put it into our business in terms of how much we need for our business. So, you know, so many people do not do this before they start. And this is where you get into strife, where you're 6 months and you go, oh my God, I've got no money, where am I going to get this from? You've left your full-time employment, you know, and you try and go to a bank and you give your bank and you say, I've got this wonderful business bank manager, please give me the money. And they'll go, oh, what have you got? You know, and it's not very easy to get money. So the absolute worst case scenario is running out of money and not being aware it was going to happen. So you, again, be in control before the business is in control, is out of control. I'm going to talk to you about ways of improving your cash flow, and I've got 2 other documents here for you. Sorry, I'm throwing you all
Way
in.
too many pieces of
Let's
paper.
write it. I like that way of improving. That's what I need.
No pictures.
Do you want me to hand them out for you and you can?
Yeah, that'd be lovely. I've got some that are for personal. So I was going to talk to you a little bit about that, but you can read that. Let me talk to you. These are all in different order.
Yeah,
So
I'll do.
there's 2, one that says business and one that says personal.
Yeah.
And I might just get the business one off you to start with because I'll talk about that one. So what I've said first, oh, you've given me the personal one. I need the business one.
Oh, there.
Thank you. So the first thing you need to do is you need to do a cash flow forecast. Now I'm going to give you a business cash flow forecast as well that you can download. It's an Excel spreadsheet and it forms part of the business plan, which I'm going to show you later, because the business plan that will give you is fantastic. You need to anticipate your bill and your tax obligations, because quite often people use their GST and their profit to fund the business, and then all of a sudden at the end of the year they've got a tax bill and it's like, oh, where am I going to get this money from? So we need to be conscious of putting that aside as well, and that's why the cash flow forecast for business is very important.
Just with that, do you recommend a different bank account? Like, so it just is not seen and...
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I siphon off money.
automatically.
Yeah.
Automatically
So
when
it's
you get
not
your,
there as,
when you
you
get your
know,
invoice.
so-called play money, because it just shouldn't be.
Yes and no, depends on
Are you
your...
going to cover that?
No, I
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
going to, but
Yeah.
I'll cover it right now.
Yeah, because I'm not in that bracket yet, but I just want to be ready.
If you were starting out, I would say yes.
Yeah,
Put it away.
because I've got 3 friends, exactly what you've just said. They've got the GST money there, something's come in, oh, we'll use that. And they're all closed. They've closed down their business because they owe the tax man a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there.
So set up a separate account.
Yeah.
And that's how I do it. I think once you've been in business for a little while, it's all in my one account. But
Yeah.
I run my accounting software online,
Yeah.
and every week I know exactly what my obligations are.
Okay.
So I'm very, very on the ball in terms of what I have to pay the GST, what I owe my staff, you know, and obligations and all that sort of stuff. So I've always got that money sitting in there. So, but to start with, yes, and a lot of the banks will give you a fee-free GST account too, so do set that up.
Even
So-
when you become more successful, I think if you can try and keep your tax obligations, and I'm saying, oh, all that money, I could do something with it before I need to pay for it in May. I pay my tax quarterly of all my obligations right through my tax because I just.
They're the ones that will shut you down, not the supplier or.
But you know, I think that if you can't find a lot of money in a hurry, it's a really good way to run your business.
I agree with you, pay quarterly.
I pay my tax all up. It's already paid before the end of the financial year.
Yeah.
You can sleep at night.
Okay, so instead of getting to the June and going, here's your bill, you've already.
Pay as you go.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, no, this is more.
But it's quarterly statements. So when you apply, you've got your ABN, it'll ask you, and if your turnover is under, I think it's 75, you
75,
don't
yeah.
have, you can pay it all at the end, but you can request to have quarterly. And there is a little thing that in terms of lending.
It means you don't leave it all up to the.
Yeah, but there's also another thing too, is that if you're applying for finance and you want to use your BAS statements as supporting documents for serviceability, having quarterly BAS is much better as opposed to 12 monthly BAS. So just a little tip as well, I would go the quarterly BAS or business activity statement, which you need to do, which basically
Every
outlines
business needs to do?
a BAS statement, yes, unless,
If
sorry,
you're under an income under
Yes.
75.
under
Then
under 75.
Okay.
Not yet.
I don't have to.
You're gonna
do
need
that.
to
You have to
pay
heart
the
attack then.
No, no,
What the
no.
hell's that?
That's only,
It's coming,
only
baby.
if you
Yeah,
earn over a
Well,
certain amount.
I embraced it.
Yeah.
That means I'm bringing in more money.
You only pay tax on money you make.
Okay,
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're making lots of money
And
and
if you're
paying lots
paying
of
tax, you're making
it's a
money.
good thing.
yeah.
It sucks.
So there's a few things in here, I'm not sure if you've had a quick brief look over them. Really just little things that you can do to create better cash or improve your
Is
cash flow.
personal? or which one is
Business,
it?
I've gone through the
We're going to do that.
the personal one was just some
Mm,
hints and
one-on-one.
tips to fix up your personal cash flow.
I need that first.
We live together.
You know, lease or rent out if you've got extra stock. I think for some of you it may not apply at this point, but there's some things there. I'm not going to go through them all. You can have a read of them in your own time. Understand your business cycles and seasons. Now, when I was a business banker at Westpac, I had a portfolio of clients that ranged from manufacturers to, you know, consultants. So it was all different. But it's really important that you do understand because, you know, if you are in a floristry business, you're going to have very peak times come February and then it's going to die down again. So you're going to get these things here. So you need to know how much extra cash you're going to need to provide. And then during those loan months, how much you still need just to survive from your personal cash flow. So understand the type of business and your seasons. One of my clients does cards, you know, the greeting cards. So he has very cyclical business where he's very quiet and he needs to draw and then he's overdraft during that time. And then he has very peak straight after, you know, the Christmas, it's just, you know, he's cashed up again. We already talked about that, set aside cash, set aside for tax obligations and emergencies. So a little bit of there, and as I said, I'm going to show you in a moment where the cash flow planner is for you guys to download as well, to do your own cash flow planning for the business side. I'm going to talk to you a bit about finance options. There's a number of different ways that you can finance your business if you need finance. The first one is you can have an equity loan against your home. All right. The next one you could use is a personal credit card. We've got family members who provide funding under certain terms. An overdraft, so that's your traditional business overdraft. You've got a traditional business term loan. And then you've got factoring.
Sorry, what's a business term loan? What's that mean? I don't know.
Yeah, so a business term loan is usually a loan, which I'm actually going to go talk about these in more detail, so that's on my next coming slides. And then you've got business credit cards. So these are all the different types of finance, and I probably would add in here with the family member providing funding under terms, you can also look to get a business angel or something like that as well. So that would be another option that I'll talk to you in more detail as we go. But they're really your options available for finance. The first one I'm going to talk to you about is using the equity in your home. Alright, so that's for people who have a home. If you don't have a home, obviously, this is not going to apply. Alright? The first thing I'm going to say to you, can I ask, just if people don't mind, does everyone have a home that they could use? Most people? So I'll,
The mortgage.
yeah, that's alright. That's alright. I'm going to just talk for a moment about this. I won't spend too much time. But the most important thing is you separate good and bad debt. Alright? Does anyone, nobody, okay. Do you have any texters for that board at all or not?
Not really, there's only the highlighters.
On the chair.
Yeah,
See it?
sorry, can you see it? Probably the blue one works the best.
Is there a blackboard marker? No, is there a, oh, there was
That's what
yesterday
Wendy
actually.
uses.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Alright, I'm going to try to explain this as easy as possible.
Coffee? Fine.
If the value of your house is worth 500,000, I'm going to use round figures because it's easy for me without a calculator.
Yeah.
And the bank gives us 80% of 500,000. Okay? That means we've got access to 400,000, right? Being 80% of 5. Now, if your home loan you had was 300,000, technically, with not looking at any other factors in terms of serviceability, just based on having your house, we could go and get an extra $100,000. Does that make sense? Because all up, the bank will give us a total of 400,000, and I'm going to split these into two. Now this one is your home loan, and we call this bad debt. And do you know why?
Because it kills you.
Correct.
This way?